Your doctor told you to buy a humidifier. He said it would help you breathe. He said the dry air was killing your sinuses, so you bought one. You placed it on the nightstand, you turned it on. And every single night for the past 3 years, that machine has been blowing mist into your face while you sleep. 8 hours a night, 2,900 nights. Not once did you open it to see what was growing inside. I opened mine today. And what I found is being aerosolized into your lungs right now. Pink slime coating the reservoir, black biofilm wrapped around the mist disc, cloudy water with a smell you would never put near your face if you saw it in a glass. And this is the device your doctor prescribed for your health. The United States Consumer Product Safety Commission knew. They knew in 1992. They published a safety alert called Dirty Humidifiers May Cause Health Problems. Document number 5046, buried it. The Environmental Protection Agency knew. They published guidelines telling you to clean every 3 days, use distilled water, and never let water sit standing. Buried it on page 47 of a manual nobody reads. The humidifier industry pulls in $1.29 billion a year in the United States alone. And not a single warning label sits on the front of the box, because if you knew what lives inside that tank after 3 weeks, you would never plug it in again. This is the story of the bedside device that the medical establishment, the manufacturers, and your own doctor never warned you about. Welcome to Forbidden Camping. This channel exists because somebody has to open the vaults the industry sealed shut. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe and ring the bell. That is how you keep the next vault from being buried again. The first documented case of humidifier lung was published in 1959 in the Swiss medical literature. A doctor named Pestalozzi described patients who developed fever, cough, and progressive shortness of breath. The trigger was always the same: they're humidifiers. 6 years later, an American researcher named Banaszak documented 4 office workers struck with the same illness. Contaminated humidification system, same fever, same cough, same lungs filling with inflammation. The medical journals gave it a name: hypersensitivity pneumonitis, and a subtype that targets the device sitting on millions of nightstands. Humidifier lung, a real biopsy-proven lung-damaging disease caused by the exact appliance your physician told you would help you breathe. By the 1970s, the literature kept growing. Klebsiella oxytoca, a gram-negative bacterium found colonizing the water of a commercial cold mist humidifier, was identified as a new cause of the disease. A 30-year-old woman developed recurring fever, shortness of breath, and dry cough every time she ran her bedroom humidifier. The doctors confirmed the bacteria was growing in her tank and being aerosolized into her lungs. In 2024, a case study from the Southern Illinois University School of Medicine reported a man in his 30s hospitalized with progressive lung damage and ground glass opacities across both lungs on the CTE scan. The hospital initially diagnosed pneumonia and pumped him with 3 antibiotics. He kept getting worse. Only when a doctor finally asked the right question did the truth emerge. He had been running a home humidifier daily for 1 year. They cultured the device. Staphylococcus saprophyticus growing in the reservoir. Lung biopsy confirmed hypersensitivity pneumonitis. The treatment was not antibiotics. The treatment was throwing the humidifier in the trash. This is not theoretical. This is documented, peer-reviewed, hospitalized, biopsy confirmed. Stop the video for 30 seconds. What I am about to show you is the most important thing on this channel. Everything you're watching right now, every fact, every study, every protocol, is a tiny fraction of what we have compiled in the Forbidden Camping Vault. Inside the vault, you get the full bedside device decontamination manual that the manufacturer will never include in the box. You get the hidden pathogens field guide that names every bacterium, fungus, and biofilm growing inside your humidifier, your CPAP, your shower head, and your kitchen sink, with the exact concentration of vinegar or peroxide that kills each one. You get the $2 cleaning protocols binder with 11 step-by-step routines that replace every overpriced refill, filter, and antimicrobial cartridge the appliance industry sells you. You get the doctor never asked checklist, the questions your physician should be asking before he writes another prescription, but never does. You get the Aerosol Defense Handbook covering humidifiers, nebulizers, vaporizers, ice makers, and every device that turns water into something you breathe, and much more. More than 10 guides in one place, no fluff, straight to the point. The link is the very first line of the description below. Now stay here. The next part of this video is the part that made me throw my own humidifier in the garbage. Open any contaminated humidifier and you will find a colony. The pink slime coating the reservoir has a name: Serratia marquescens, a gram-negative bacterium that the Centers for Disease Control classifies as an opportunistic pathogen. For a healthy adult, it is mostly harmless. For an elderly person, an infant, anyone on chemotherapy, anyone with a compromised immune system, Serratia marquesens has been linked to pneumonia, urinary tract infections, and bloodstream infections. It is one of the most common bacteria identified in hospital-acquired infections, and It is being aerosolized into the bedroom air of millions of households every night. The black biofilm wrapping the mist disk is something else: Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Aspergillus, Penicillium fungi. Pseudomonas is multi-drug resistant. Aspergillus can cause invasive aspergillosis, a condition with mortality rates above 50% in immunocompromised patients. Then there is Legionella pneumophila, the bacterium that causes Legionnaire's disease, a severe pneumonia with mortality rates that climb above 10% in older adults. Legionella thrives in standing water between 77 degrees and 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Warm mist, humidifiers sit dead center inside that range. A documented outbreak of Legionnaire's disease in a hospital nursery was traced directly to an ultrasonic humidifier filled with tap water. And the white dust covering your nightstand? That is what happens when an ultrasonic humidifier aerosolizes the minerals dissolved in your tap water. Researchers from Virginia Tech measured it. Ultrasonic humidifiers efficiently aerosolize between 85 and 90% of the dissolved minerals in the water you pour into them. Calcium, magnesium, sodium, and in many municipal water supplies, traces of arsenic, cadmium, lead, and manganese. Particles small enough, between 100 and 200 nanometers in diameter, to bypass the nasal filter and deposit directly into the deepest part of the lung. A peer-reviewed study published in Environment International measured airborne particle concentrations from a single ultrasonic humidifier, exceeding the EPA standard for PM 2.5. That standard exists because particles that size cause cardiovascular disease, stroke, and lung cancer. Your humidifier, the one your doctor recommended, is producing them inside your bedroom for 8 hours a night, and nobody on the prescription side ever mentioned it. Stop the video again. If you have made it this far, you already understand more about what is sitting on your nightstand than 99% of the people watching this channel. You are not the audience the manufacturers wanted. You are the problem they tried to bury. Subscribe and share this with somebody who runs a humidifier next to a bed, because the next 10 minutes is the part that made me realize this is not negligence. This is a business model. And remember, the full Forbidden Camping Vault with every cleaning protocol, every pathogen field guide, every doctor never asked checklist is sitting in the first link of the description below. Now stay here. Why is none of this on the box? Why does your physician hand you a prescription for a humidifier without a single word about contamination? Why does the manual put the cleaning schedule on page 47 in font size 8? Because the humidifier industry generates $1.29 billion a year in the United States. Globally, it crosses $4 billion. And the entire business model depends on you forgetting how to clean. Here is what they sell you. Antimicrobial filters at $12 to $20 each, replaced every 1 to 3 months. That is $60 to $240 a year, recurring forever, locked into the model number you bought. Demineralization cartridges at $15 to $25 each, replaced monthly. Another $180 to $300 a year, and the EPA itself notes that the ability of these cartridges to actually remove minerals varies widely. Proprietary cleaning solutions at $8 to $15 per bottle, marketed as the only safe way to disinfect your tank, when the EPA fact sheet recommends ordinary 3% hydrogen peroxide. A new humidifier every 2 or 3 years when the old one stops working, because nobody told you the mineral scale is what killed it. Then come the medical costs the device generated. Steroid nasal sprays at $30 to $50 a month. Antihistamines, inhaler refills, office visits to a physician who keeps prescribing more medication for symptoms the device on your nightstand keeps producing. Add it up. The industry pulls between $400 and $1,000 per household per year in consumables, replacements, and downstream prescriptions. $2 of distilled white vinegar does the same disinfection. $2. Acetic acid at 5% concentration kills the majority of mold and bacterial species growing in standing water reservoirs. 3% hydrogen peroxide, recommended directly by the Environmental Protection Agency in their official Use and Care of Home Humidifiers fact sheet, dissolves Serratia marcescens biofilm and kills most contaminating pathogens. Both of them cost $2 at any pharmacy or grocery store. Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens, every shelf in every aisle in every state. The industry will never tell you this. Your doctor will never tell you this. Because nobody at any link in the chain makes a single dollar when you walk into a store, buy a gallon of vinegar, and clean your own tank. The fertilizer model, the razor blade model, the printer ink model. You buy the device cheap, and you bleed money on consumables forever. And the consumable that actually works costs less than a cup of coffee. Now here's what you do. Tonight, before you go to bed, unplug your humidifier from the wall. Disassemble it completely. Tank, base, mist nozzle, every removable part. Pour out every drop of water. Look at what is in the bottom of the reservoir. If you see pink, gray, black, or any film, that is biofilm. That is what you have been breathing. Mix 1 part distilled white vinegar with 1 part water. Pour it into the empty tank. Let it soak for 30 to 60 minutes. The acetic acid will dissolve the mineral scale and kill the biofilm. Take a soft bristle brush and scrub every interior surface. Reservoir walls, the bottom, the lid, the base unit, the mist disc. For pink Serratia marcescens stains that resist the vinegar, switch to undiluted 3% hydrogen peroxide. Apply directly to the stain. Wait 10 minutes. Watch what happens. The pink dissolves in front of you. The transformation from pink slime to clean white plastic is the most disturbing thing you will see this week. Rinse everything thoroughly with cold tap water. Then again. Then once more. Any chemical residue left behind will be aerosolized into your bedroom air the next time you turn the device on. Dry every component completely with a clean cloth. Residual moisture means recolonization within 48 hours. Reassemble, refill with distilled water only. Never tap water again. Do this once a month minimum. Do the full deep clean at the start and end of every heating season. Daily, empty the tank when you wake up. Wipe it dry. Refill with fresh distilled water before bed. Every 3 days, the EPA recommends scrubbing the tank with vinegar or 3% hydrogen peroxide. Buy a hygrometer at any hardware store for $10 to $15. Keep your indoor humidity between 30 and 50%. Above 60%, mold begins growing on the walls of your bedroom itself. I have to be honest with you about one thing. Vinegar will not sterilize your humidifier the way an autoclave at a hospital sterilizes surgical equipment. Some bacterial spores survive acetic acid exposure. That is why the protocol exists. Daily emptying, monthly deep clean, distilled water only. This is not a one-time fix. This is a permanent change in how you operate the device. And one more truth. If your symptoms have worsened over the months you have been using your humidifier, do not just clean it. Stop using it for 2 weeks. See if the symptoms improve. If they do, you may be looking at hypersensitivity pneumonitis. Tell your physician. Tell him to consider humidifier lung as a differential diagnosis. He will probably look at you like you're crazy. Show him the case report from Curious Journal in 2024. Show him the medical literature dating back to 1959. Sometimes the patient has to do the diagnosis the doctor never thought to make. This is what I want you to remember. The Consumer Product Safety Commission knew in 1992. The Environmental Protection Agency has been publishing the cleaning protocol for 30 years. The peer-reviewed medical literature has documented humidifier lung since 1959. And not a single warning is printed on the front of the box your humidifier came in. Not a single physician asks the question before writing the prescription. Because the system is not built to keep you informed. The system is built to keep you buying. $2 of vinegar versus $600 a year in filters, sprays, and prescriptions. 25 times the cost for the same result. Worse. This knowledge is not new. It just was never delivered to you. Until now. Subscribe and share this with somebody who has a humidifier next to a bed, a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor with chronic cough nobody can explain. Every share preserves what they tried to bury under a stack of refill cartridges. And before you close this video, hit the link in the description and pull down the Forbidden Camping Vault tonight while it is still in front of you. 11 complete guides, every protocol, every pathogen named, every doctor never asked checklist in one downloadable package. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside is even heavier than what you just watched.